Right. You know the score. Just ask me whatever you'd like me to have a look at, and I'll be happy to do that for you. I'll waffle on about the markets that I trade and that I write reports on. Otherwise, but as I say, I'll look at absolutely anything you want and analyse it for you. I'll certainly give it a go anyway. Okay, so I've got cable up at the moment. That's because I'm trading cable today. So we might as well start with that. Hi guys, see some few familiar faces there. Okay, so cable, the chart pretty much speaks for itself, really. Key points are we're getting a bit overbought on the stochastic. This is a ranging market, a slightly downward sloping trend, nothing too steep, but you can see we've had a decent recovery off this trend line anyway. We didn't quite manage to touch it, so you'd had to have jumped in a little bit early. Anyway, good run up. This got a bit confusing here when we saw this big red candle and then shot up yesterday, really being pushed around by economic numbers at the moment, cable. But anyway, we pushed up to test this trend line here, which comes back to the end of August, which I think is quite key. You can see this blue line is the 100-day moving average. So that's also adding some resistance to this area, which is now holding at the moment up around the sort of 154.95, 155.00 area. As long as we hold below there, the outlook's quite negative in the very short term, at least. I mean, in the long term, there's not a lot to gauge, is there, really? When you're looking sort of back to May, we've basically just gone nowhere. You can see that the September, October low here, the end of September, beginning of October low, isn't an awful lot much above the May low here at the beginning of May, and obviously we've got these three peaks up here, but yeah, we're basically trending sideways. So yeah, with that theory in mind, a good reason why we might just turn around and head lower, because we really are making, we are sticking to ranges at the moment. Short-term chart, if I just flick to the 4-hour, that gives you a slightly zoomed in, clearer look of that trend line that we have on the daily chart going back to the beginning of August. Yeah, and I think that resistance could hold. You know, short term we're also bought on the daily, on the slow stochastic, so we're seeing a couple of sort of more negative candle patterns, if you like, or certainly less positive, I should say. And then if you were to look on the daily, on the hourly chart, we've even got some negative candles on there. There you go. This red candle here, as you can see, we hit a new high at 155.00 and then plunged, took out, I don't know, looks like about a dozen candles here. Well, we have managed to recovery, but again, this candle on the last hour, let me see, that was the one that just finished because we're 6 minutes into the new candle. Tried to spike up to 11.55, tested that again and pulled back. So what do you call that? Shooting star? I think so. You know, as you know, I can never remember the names, but I know what they all mean, and that isn't particularly positive. So I'm short. I'm actually short from around 154.80, so I got a little bit early. In fact, a little bit earlier than I'd even written on my daily report, which I should probably try and show you, actually. Where are we? Here we go. I'll show you what I do, and I'll show you what I wrote in my report, actually. That might be useful, in case you're interested. Okay, so yeah, cable, I'm in a short, and I think we could go lower. I've actually posted today's report here. I do post a lot of free reports here, most days, in fact. So it's worth visiting that page every day, and also, I'm sure you all know what my Twitter handle is, but let me show it to you again. You must follow me there because you just get loads of free stuff, free info, free reports, free trade signals. So if you're not following me there already, then I suggest you do, if you like what I do. Right, hang on, just let me try and get this report up for you so you can see it and read it for yourself. Our subscribers don't actually get this. This is the PDF that I send out to our banks and brokers, but when you log in, you'll see exactly the same text. So as I've written here, GBP has hit 7-week trend line resistance at 154.90, 150. That should be 155.00. I've done a mistype there. Correct that. And become very overbought. This is also 100 moving average. Should be the main challenge for bulls today. Try shorts with stops at 155.30. You can see I'm making an error. I'll have to retype that. A good chance we head lower today to 154.2025. Well, actually, oh no, we haven't hit that at all yet. 154.50 something is the low. But that's where I reckon we'll be heading if that does fail to break. If we do fail to break that strong resistance level. So that's my trade for the day in cable, which I've already got on, as I've said. Yes, I am indeed short this. I shorted it a little bit earlier. Actually, I shorted it. I'd only seen this candle at the time, 154.94. We were into this candle here because I do my report so early in the morning. So I thought we may have already topped, and I was getting short around the 154.80 area. So we're trading 154.86. So it's 6 pips against me at the moment. But we certainly anywhere near my stop. So yeah, I quite fancy that trade in cable at least. Euro, probably worth me showing you the Euro report as well. Again, the Euro report is also on that free page that I've just given you the link for, so you can look through there and read them for yourself. You'll actually see them in the format that our subscribers see them in. Okay, so while that is loading, let me show you what I've written for the Euro, and I've written it. So we hit a selling opportunity at 114.70.75 with stops above 115.00. That was where I was getting confused. I wrote the cable report straight after the Euro report. Failure at this resistance target is 114.59.56, then support at 114.40.36. That support's already been hit. We overran a little bit to the next target of 114.23.21. I think the actual low is 114.25. So this is what I wrote this morning at about 2 o'clock in the morning. We do have that trade on as well. I put that trade on this morning when I wrote the report. Fortunately, that has worked really nice. I think the high today was 114.95, so overran by about 20 pips. Managed to head lower, and I think this can continue to go lower. Let me show you why. Okay, so we need to look at the daily chart for this one, really. Okay, so one of the key points is that we got quite overbought. So I was looking for some reason to sell into euro, really. We didn't manage. We've got this high in September at 114.59. We did manage to peak above that. Now, where did I get this idea from? Oh yeah, we had a 61.8% fib here. Very simply, 114.70.75. So that was why I was thinking to sell into that. Give yourself a bit of leeway above it. But I thought if we can't sustain above the September high of 114.59, then that would be more negative. We certainly haven't managed to do that. As you can see on this 4-hour chart, this 4-hour candle here, we managed to push up to 114.95. So we made a new high and then absolutely collapsed, taking out 12 hours worth of price action. We did hit this very nice trend line here. So if I scrunch my chart up, you can see this trend line goes back to 8th of August. So just joining it all up, it's worked really nicely, this trend line. So there's no reason not to trust it at the moment. As you can see, worked beautifully as support. Once it was broken, worked pretty nicely as resistance. Just a little spike up there, but not managing a close above it. So this is pretty much the key now, this trend line here. Can we hold above it or will we dip below it? I think eventually we will dip below it. We're not seeing a strong bounce back. I'm not sure what the trigger was. Must be some economic number out this morning that pushed us down. But I'm looking eventually, I'm hoping, in fact, because I'm short, but I'm hoping for a break below that 114.30.25 area, which would then start the next leg lower in this little move. 114.10 would be obvious target. There's a little bit of a trend line down here around the 113.90.80 area. Probably that would be enough on the downside and would certainly be a nice place to take some profit if you were short up in that sort of high 114 area. 100 pips on a day, no one's going to complain about that. Yeah, there's also a bit of moving average action on the weekly chart, which sort of helped me to have some confidence in that resistance level, which I'll show you now. There you go. This is a 55-week moving average, so you can see we were just testing that. It worked so nicely earlier in the year. Let me see, that was at the end of around the end of August on the weekly chart. We just kissed that collapse. That's now formed the upper trend line of this, what looks like a bear flag, really, and a bear flag is not positive. So who knows? Maybe eventually we'll break that back down below there. We can look at it again in a couple of weeks when. Oh, thank you. Black Cat, that was ECB, yeah, I can never pronounce his name, that pushed the euro lower. Well, I'm happy about that. He's a good lad. and has put us on side on this trade. But you know what I believe? I believe that markets react according to the demand and supply anyway. So if it wasn't that trigger, it would have been something else. But anyway, happily, we've been helped out there. This little red candle here, if we were to close here today, that would be a relatively a very small sell signal. It's nothing too convincing, but the new high, lower close, of course, wouldn't be particularly positive. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the last 7 sessions, we've only seen one down day, so it has been a good run. But again, same as I said for cable, Euro's basically going sideways, and if you're a subscriber to the Euro, you'll know I've written that so many times. We've been going sideways for 5, almost 6 months now. There is a trend. It's a sideways trend. So you really have to trade this very, very short term. And I think that this little run up might just see a pullback now, as I've said. If we were to fall as far as, on the daily chart, it gives you the bigger levels, of course. So who knows? There's no reason why we can't get back down to 112, sort of 40-30 area. This, on the daily chart at least, looks like the main support level. And you can see by the time we get there, the 55 moving average won't be too far behind it. The 100-day will be a little bit below it, but you can't rule that out. It's difficult to predict. I'm finding it difficult to predict some of these forex markets beyond very, very short term because, as you can see, there's no direction. But bearing in mind, we're looking at we're getting very close to a stochastic crossover here. That certainly backs up the idea that we could go lower. I don't think there's anything more I can really add to this. I probably won't run it down as far as the 112.30 area. I'm not that good. Actually, in the short term, we've got quite good support around 112.80.70, as you can see, a little trend line there, fib support. So, and then you're going to have some moving average support down there as well. So that looks like probably a decent buying opportunity if we were to fall as far as 112.70. I don't think we'll go much further than that on this little leg down. Anyway, ECB's Nowotny said that the additional sets of instruments are necessary, including structural tools. Okay, I guess that means a bit more QE, does it? Does that mean with the current conditions that it's more appropriate to trade intraday short term? Yes, I do actually think it is more appropriate to trade intraday and short term. I mean, it doesn't suit everybody's style. I am a short term trader just because that's the nature of my job. I'm paid to write short term reports for banks and brokers and these guys. A lot of my clients are option traders, and they're really using my levels to hedge. I don't know how much they actually put on fresh positions off the back of my trade signals, but I know for sure that they do use them for hedging purposes, which is what they use the levels for. So yeah, I'm very, very short-term focused. But even if I wanted to be long-term focused, I do make longer-term calls. I did call the stock market low at the end of September, which I think you may have got the benefit of in the last webinar. Does anyone remember that? That would have been a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully. I also called a low in gold, a longer term low. So I do like looking for longer term positions, but I can't see any in this. I mean, what do you make of that? We are in a very, very gentle upward sloping trend, perhaps, but really, when you consider that we're trading below the May high, the August high, and even the June high, that's not much of a bull trend, is it? So in sideways trends, you've got to just try and pick your levels and get in and out. And, what can you do here? The last 2 weeks of September, first week of October, we just went sideways. So the only way you're going to make any money is getting in, getting out, trading the levels, trying to nick 20, 30 pips when you can. If anyone's got a better idea of where this is going in the longer term, I'd love to hear it. And, I'm open to suggestions. But even when you're looking at a weekly chart, there's not telling you much here. If you were trying to wait to trade the big levels, which of course is up here around the 117.70, 118.00 area, or trying to buy it down here around the 111 area, you're going to have a long wait to put a trade on because there's really not much going on. And even these fib areas around the 112.90, 112.70 area haven't really been much of a factor. So trading that wouldn't have been an awful lot of help. So yeah, I really do think you have to trade it short term. Otherwise, you're going to be running positions for weeks and possibly months in order to try and see us hit one of these two parameters. But keep an eye on this weekly flag situation because that is not particularly positive. It's a huge flag. But a break below the lower area around the 111.00 area would signal that maybe then at the start of the next move down in the euro dollar. Who knows? We'll have to watch that one. It's not going to happen for a while, I would have thought. Okay, what else have I got on my screen? Well, let's do the Forex markets anyway. I think that's probably where you're mostly interested in. Let me show you that free reports page. Aussie Kiwi, yeah, I can do both of those, no problem. Okay, while I'm getting that to load, this is the page I'm talking about. I'm guessing most of you have seen it. We'll do the Aussie next. I'm guessing most of you have seen it. Oh, if it would load. Okay, we've got some charts up. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, this is a chart for dollar yen, which has been painfully boring, as you can see from this daily chart. I'm trying to write a report and give some trade signals on this. Has been an absolute nightmare for at least the last 5 or 6 weeks because we just have gone absolutely nowhere. So referring back to your question about should we be trading short-term intraday, there's nothing else you could have done with dollar yen because if you're waiting for a move, well, we simply didn't really get it, did we? So it really was a case of trading the levels. The levels didn't work too badly actually throughout that period, I'm pleased to say. But now we seem to have broken down. We're trading below the early October low, the September low down there. So yeah, this does look quite negative. Stochastics are backing that up. Short-term chart. Let's have a look at the 4-hour just to give us a short-term view. There you go. You can see where I've put my trend lines. So we're just holding above this trend line. Actually, you can see we closed this bar. I was just discussing this with my trading partner Simon this morning, who I think is in the room somewhere. Hi Simon, if you are. So yeah, we were looking at this trend line and saying that unless we could see a close below there, we could get a bounce back because we're quite oversold now in the short term, and we have spiked below there. But the close above this little trend line, or we're holding just above this little trend line here, means we could see some sort of recovery. But I think we're looking for selling opportunities in this one if we do get a recovery. Oh, there he is. Hi Simon. I don't really think we'd see it back up around the 119.5 area, 119.60, 70. That would obviously be a nice little selling opportunity because there's a good solid trend line there going back to the beginning of September. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce in this, but I would also be a seller into any strength. If we were to see a rally up over the next day or two into Monday, maybe we'd get a selling opportunity in that. The only other thing with the dollar yen to watch, that daily chart isn't really telling us anything at all, is it? It's a bit of moving average crossover action there, but do you know what? I'm actually going to take that off. I don't know why I've left that on. That's absolutely irrelevant. So yeah, this is why you've got to look at different time periods because really you've got to be aware that we're hitting that trend line and we've held it. What does it look like on the daily chart? There you go. So yeah, a close above this little trend line here would be a little bit more positive, but only in the very short term. I don't think this is a buy signal. The other thing you've got to be aware of is, as we can see here in the weekly chart, this break lower, maybe we can come down and test this trend line. That is that Simon was asking me where that trend line was, and I flicked off there, hadn't I? So yeah, we were just chatting about that candle. Indeed, we were. So 117.00, 116.90, 116.80 even. That's the area to look for over the next couple of weeks. See if we come and test that. That's going to be good support actually. And then you've got this. Notice how this candle spiked low to 116.46 over that little summer crisis, and that held perfectly that 38.2% fib. Do love a fib. So we'd have to break below 116.40. That could be a nice trade buying it around the high 116 area, just below 117.00 with a stop below 116.40. That could work. We'll have to look at that next time. Aussie dollar, I've been asked for, yeah, and we can have a look at the Kiwi. While that's loading, this is my free reports page. So keep an eye on this. You can see that I try to post reports every day just to help people out with their trades and give them signals. Today I've got WTI crude, the Aussie dollar, and the euro up there. So yesterday I posted dollar yen, euro, and DAX, and then yeah, some stock markets we had: E-mini, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, We've done crude a few times this week. Okay, so anyway, look, you can see that. You can go through them, see what I've written, see if you think I know what I'm talking about. Okay, dollar CAD, yeah, pound CAD, yeah, I can do that too. Okay, so Aussie dollar's very, very clearly in a very, very negative trend. As you can see, we've had a little bit of recovery, but this to me looks like a bounce in a bear trend. It doesn't look like anything game-changing to me. That's the weekly chart, so I won't dwell on that for too long. You can see we're actually testing that upper trend line as well, which goes all the way back to Q3 of 2014. So it's a strong longer-term trend line, and I think it's going to take a lot to break that. I don't think that is going to break at the moment. In the short term, we've already got some strong resistance up here around the 73, 70, 73, 80 level. I think that's a good selling opportunity. We've stopped short of it, actually. 73, 63 is as far as we've got today. Who knows? That might be as far as it goes, because really it's looking a bit toppy on the stochastics. It's just a confluence of resistance up there with 100-day moving average, trend line, fibs. Really not surprised it's already topped out, and maybe I've missed out. I'm not even sure if I've got a sell order in there, but if I haven't, I should have, because that is a big resistance level. So if we do get anywhere near that 73, 70, 80 area, watch that. It's probably worth a go. You can see, actually, before I flick to the shorter term time period, how earlier on in October last week, in fact, this was a great little sell opportunity. 73.82 we got to. I did manage to get on that trade, fortunately. We just blipped above it, but you can see the daily close was just bang on, or just a fraction below that pink trend line and the 100-day moving average. And of course, not a huge surprise to see that big red candle the following day. So that was really, really nice. And actually, these levels have been working beautifully, because you can see how we've got this fib support down here at 71.95.90. We just rallied straight off that. 71.95 was the low, and rather nicely come back to this big resistance. But that's the key at the moment, that big resistance. And as I said, don't see us really getting through there. So maybe if we're lucky, we'll see a little squeeze up and we'll have a chance to sell that. Short term, you've got this trend line. Well, I'm just showing you what's already on the daily chart, really, but you can see trend line, previous high. It's all kind of coming together up at this 73, 70, 80 area, and that's another reason why I'd like to get short this. You can see we're heading into overbought territory on the 4-hour chart as well. So all in all, not looking too positive. And don't forget, on the weekly chart, we've got that big trend line that we're just hovering below. So all in all, not too bullish. Dollar news looking iffy at the moment. Well, yeah, it is looking iffy, isn't it? Because they're talking about no rate hike, so dollar's under pressure. But the Aussie is also under pressure. It's a commodity currency, and that's what that one's hurting. So it's a race to the bottom, really, with these currencies, isn't it? Kiwi, yep, definitely. That's the next one to do. NZUSD. That's the way around you want it, yeah. Yeah, I'll do the CAD too. Okay, not one of my regulars this one, so you'll have to give me a little bit of a chance to just try and get to grips with what I'm thinking. Euro's heading back down towards that 114.30.25 sort of support area, so I'm hoping we'll see a break below there. I'm running that short from up at 114, whatever it was. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll break below there. We'll see. Okay, New Zealand dollar. Be nice if the cable would be so kind as to dump while we're doing this webinar as well. Okay. Weekly chart. I probably haven't looked at this since the last time we did a webinar. So, okay, wow, nice recovery. Very nice recovery. Okay, so certainly seeing some dollar weakness in there. At the moment, this looks quite positive. Seeing some big blue candles, big blue-bodied candles. We're up through this 23.6 fib at 68.25. So that's all looks pretty good. What's the high of this candle? 68.80. We're trading at 68.68. So we've got to get up through 68.80. Have we been through there yet? We have been through there yet. We're up at we've been to 68.97, but we can't hold it. So okay, if we can get through 69.00, this should keep the positive momentum going. That would be the next thing to look for. But weekly chart so far looks good, but it is only a recovery in a bear trend, don't forget. And if we get anywhere near 70.30, 70.50, that's certainly a lot of fib resistance there. So looks like a reasonable target. especially if we can push through 6,900, then there's no reason why we can't see that level. But I'm guessing that we're going to be looking overbought in the short-term charts, and I'll have to look at the short-term charts, but maybe we'll see some reasons to get short. Let me just draw a trend line on here. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I like that. I love it when that happens. Yeah, Simon's saying if it gets through 23.6, good chance of 38.2, and I would agree with that. And look, Simon, write this down, mate. We've got to do this trade. If we get up to this sort of mid 70 or mid to low 70 area, then this looks like a nice little short over the next couple of weeks. So let's see if we can get up there. If you're not already long, well, I don't know. It's up to you whether you want to be buying it now. We've already seen a lot of the move, and I'm not saying we will definitely get here, but if we do get here, this looks like a nice little short position. Okay. Short-term daily chart. Right, we'll just get rid of some of this rubbish, clean it up a little bit. Oh, you can see how long it is since I looked at this. I haven't looked at it since probably August, mid-August. All right. Wow, triple bottom. You don't see those very often. That triple bottom pattern, you see that? 1, 2, 3. That's a rare pattern and very bullish. That is not a big surprise. We've seen such a strong reaction off that triple bottom. If you see triple bottoms, trade them. That doesn't happen often. Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah, you can see that the key would have been a break above this trend line, really. You look how we spiked above it on the 1st of August, 1st of October, spiked up, pulled back. You'd be thinking, oh, that's failed, and then bang, straight through it, close above, and off we go. So the triple bottom coupled with the break above that trend line was a very, very bullish signal. I know that's easy to say with hindsight. Anyone can say that when you've seen the move, but that's certainly the reason why we got such a strong reaction. Anything else worth noting here? I guess that would just been confirmation, that break above a sort of a neckline, if you want to call it that. Don't think you really get a neckline with a triple bottom, but okay, so this all looks good. Look at that 100-day moving average doing its job, up through it, positive, retracement, didn't manage to close back below the 100, and then bang, off we go again over the last couple of days. So yeah, this does all look pretty positive short term. We are getting very overbought, so be careful. Oops. Not sure if I like that fib level. I suppose I do. Let me see if I can stick a trend line on here, going back to here. Okay, I can take that one off. Okay. What did I say? 70, 30, 70, 50, didn't I? Okay, we've also got the 200-day moving average, which at the moment is around 70.63. That's definitely going to be lower in a couple of days. So that's going to be heading for the 70.50 resistance as well. You've got this shorter-term trend line at 71.12, although that's going to be sort of below 71.00 by the time we get there, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, we are heading for a lot of resistance. I'm really hoping we can get there because that looks like a nice trade, doesn't it, Simon? Yeah, we've definitely got to get involved in that one. Okay. Just let me make sure I've got my trend lines in the right place. Hold on. So that's Q3 2014. Yeah, that's the peak of 2014. Okay, yeah, I like that. Really like that. That's what I like doing these webinars. You see stuff that you wouldn't normally look at. Anything else I should be looking at here? No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. Hope that makes sense. I'll just have a quick look at the short-term chart just in case there's something I'm missing. No, not really. It all looks pretty positive. I mean, we're very overbought, but that's never a reason alone to sell anything, is it? So, yeah, all looks good. Okay, yeah. we know what the key level in that pair is then. What else have I been asked for? Pound versus the Canadian, GBP, CAD. Cable's going up. That's not what I want. Still, that resistance is holding though. I've written an article on the stock markets today, which I don't think it's on the website yet, but it will be later. So have a look at. I'll keep an eye on our website, which I'm sure you know what it is, and our free articles page. In fact, I think it's at the bottom of the homepage where we post the new free articles. So keep an eye on that, and you'll see what I'm saying about stock markets. But if I've got time, I'll run through them. Pound Canadian, okay. All right. That must be because Simon's. It's one of these ones that you trade, isn't it, Simon? Okay. All right. Well, obviously we're in a bull market. That goes without saying. Obviously, we have seen some profit taking. We're holding below this trend line. So in the very short term, at least on the weekly chart, this is not so positive. We're going to have to get back above 20, sort of 10, 20 area. That's obviously major resistance. You can see why we've got fib and trend line intersecting. So as long as we hold below there, that's not so positive. But we are in a bull trend. So, excuse me. Ultimately, we are looking for buying opportunities. In the short term, as long as we hold below there, we could see a little bit more downside. We have got some good support down here at 196.2010. We've got a peak up here at 195.50. So below there, we'd be negative again. But if we can hold around the 196.00 area, I reckon that would be worth buying into longs with a stop below 195.50. That looks like a very simple, easy trade, fairly obvious. You are looking to buy into dips in a bull trend. Right, short term, what we got? Okay, we got a little bit oversold, so we're trading sideways. What can I make of this? Not an awful lot, really. This is a bear market correction, a bull market correction. This is all a bit sideways, isn't it? That doesn't, well, I suppose if we can hold this trend line, but we're going to have to get through that. What did I say? 20, sort of 15, 20 area. So yeah, we're going to have to get back up through this fib here. If we're going to make some progress. So yeah, if we can get up through there, then we can target 20, 30, 20, 40, 20, 30, 20, 35. And you can see we've got some moving average actions. So I would feel more positive above 2015. Sorry, I'm not used to this. I'm getting all the numbers wrong. 20 spot 015, and then I would look to target 20 spot 030, 035, and that's obviously going to be quite tough resistance, a little bit of moving average action there. And Fibonacci, if we can get above, then the 20, what are we looking at? 2040, 2 spot 040 level, that would then be more positive. It doesn't look too bad, and who knows, we could actually resume the bull market here. So we just need to get through that 2015 area. It's not as clear as the last chart, but I probably would rather be short than long this right now. Long than short this. Well, I certainly would be buying a break above 2015 anyway. 4-hour chart. Oh, there you go. Trend line's working quite nicely there. Let me open this up for you. Okay, so You can see the very short-term trend line. This only goes back to the end of September, so 22nd of September. So what we're talking about there, 4 weeks. 4 weeks is long enough. This is obviously important. We've got a little bit overbought and we've rejected that. So it looks like we're going to come down a little bit. We could have some very sort of lopsided inverse head and shoulders pattern, this being the left shoulder, and then we could get a right shoulder and then push up through this 2000 area. But a push in the short term, we need to push above there. Then we need to push above that 2015 area, and there's that trend line there, 2015 area. So again, that's key. I hope you're writing all these levels down. There's quite a few. 2000, 2015, and then we can see 2030. So there's sort of 15 tick spaces in between all of that. And then if we can get through 2015 through 2030, it would be much more positive. So yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of would be buying into dips actually, but we're going to need breaks above those important resistances to confirm upside moves. Okay, Simon's got some advice for you there. Okay, any other pairs? Otherwise, I'm going to show you some stock market stuff. Ooh, that cable's pushing 155.00 there, so it's testing that resistance big time. Oh, can I show you head and shoulders? We've done. Oh yeah, have we not done pound versus New Zealand? No. GBP CAD. We've done GBP CAD. We just did GBP CAD. No, I can't really show you head and shoulders. You'll have to Google that. Otherwise, I've got to trawl through loads of different charts and try and find one. So you'll have to. This is very simple. Just Google it, and you can teach yourself about head and shoulders. Dead easy. Okay. Or even better, do one of my courses, and I'll teach you absolutely everything you need to know. Right. Here we go. We've done GBP CAD, yeah. Cable more, yeah, trading above 155.00. Yeah, but don't forget that's quite a strong resistance level, so we could hold that in cable. He says talking his book because he's short. Right. Okay. This isn't actually the best example of the stock markets, but you can see what's going on here with the S&P. We've had a rally back up towards September highs. We've got overbought. We're trading in, well, just a sideways channel, really, aren't we? This would appear to be. No surprises that we topped out just below the 61.8 at 2018 and the September high at 2021. We topped out just below 2015. We've headed lower. We are overbought. I do think this could be the start of a negative trend. Whether it's an extended bear market, I really don't know. But certainly at the moment, we're just trading sideways, and it looks like we've reached the upper parameters of that sideways trend. So I am looking for this to go lower. We'll need a break below 1980 to confirm something. I am actually surprised we've managed to rally today, but I think there are some shorts in the market. So maybe this move to the downside won't be quite as swift as we saw here in the September in the second half. I'm hoping we do get a repeat of that, and we do see a sell-off into the second half of October, because I'm selling into this now. Love to see it down there at 118.83, but I very much doubt I'll have the nuts to run my trade that far. I've done the GBP Canadian, haven't I? Isn't that the one I just looked at? Yeah, it is. Okay, so look, there's nothing else to say there. We're just trading sideways, but I think we've reached the upper limit of our move. I think this was a short squeeze. I think there's a lot of shorts out there. I did call a bottom down there, if you remember, or if you know, if you're a subscriber. But I think that it's time to see some profit taking on that short squeeze. More interesting is the Nasdaq. Oh, GBP New Zealand dollar. Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to do that. I'll just show you the Nasdaq. Seeing as I've clicked on it now, and then we'll do that. There you go. Cable's rejecting that 155.00 area at the moment. We managed to get to 155.06. We're pulling back a bit. He says, hoping that we go lower. Okay, it's worth showing you this Nasdaq. I'm writing an article, or I have already written an article this morning, which will be posted both on the Intertrader blog and also on my website. So I won't bother to waste your time, and I'll move on for David to have a look at that pound New Zealand. But hang on one sec. Well, I better hurry up because we might run out of time. GBP NZD. Anyway, you can see it. Chart speaks for itself. Trend line going back to April. So 100-day moving average, the red line. Blue line above is the 200-day moving average is the red line. Blue line is the 100-day moving average. So they're both converging on each other. Watch for that blue line crossing below the red line into the end of the year. That would be a sell signal longer term. We are seeing what could be the start of a bear market in the Nasdaq in the short term, at least. We're overbought. We're hitting all sorts of trend line resistance. So anyway, I'm short this one as well. I think stock markets go lower. Here we go. DAX doesn't look too good. Oh, DAX is up at 1064. Okay, I didn't think we'd get that high today, to be fair. It's irritating me, this little stock market bounce today. I thought we'd be lower. Don't forget that Aussie dollar 73.70, 73.80. That's for Simon. Right. Okay. I'm going to have to start on the weekly chart with this one. Haven't looked at it for a while. Okay. Sorry, sorry if I talk too fast. I try and pack as much in as I can to the 45 minutes. Usually these are recorded, so you can go back over them. Wow. Okay. Big gold sell-off in this one. What am I looking at? Pound versus New Zealand dollar. Okay. 6 and fibs on there. That fib isn't really relevant, actually. I think I'm going to take that one off. Maybe not. Okay. Doesn't look too good, does it? Doesn't look too good at all. This New Zealand dollar is very, very, very powerful. It was making big gains against the dollar, and it's obviously making big gains against cable because cable versus dollar hasn't moved much at all. Below 2260 now, so that's looking quite negative. We're below these little spikes. These little spikes down here are at 2266, 2270. So below there is obviously not too good. Below 2260 is even less good. This doesn't look particularly positive, does it? What is driving the New Zealand dollar then? I'm sure you guys know. I don't know. Yeah, well, that really doesn't say anything more than the weekly chart, does it? Other than we are going down. We're very oversold. No one cares about us being oversold. As long as we hold below 2260. Okay, this is kind of interesting. We are mega oversold. We have seen a huge drop without really any retracement. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3. Well, anyway, over the past 1, 2, 3.5, almost 4 weeks, we've only had 2 days when we've actually seen any gains. So that is one heck of a move to the downside. Lovely if short. Milk powder prices. Oh, okay, thank you. You can see how much I keep up with the fundamental news. We're going to have to see a weekly close above 2260 on Friday night. That is the only hope that bulls have got to start unwinding this sold situation. A weekly close below 2260, I certainly wouldn't want to be long, and who knows how low we can go in this. If you can only see two up days, and one of them was they're barely up days, are they? They're really just sort of sideways patterns. If that's all you can see in 4 weeks, this isn't the kind of thing where you want to be catching pianos or catching knives, because picking bottoms, smelly finger and all that, yeah, don't like the look of that. I can't really say any more. Maybe if we can hold up above 2260, we can get some sort of recovery, but this does not look like a market you want to be picking bottoms in. Okay, I know I'm going to run out of time any minute now and be told to stop. But if you've got anything else you would like me to look at, I'll squeeze it in if I can. Crude isn't looking too good, by the way. Sorry, you don't like my smelly finger jokes. Fair enough. What else? Crude is worth a quick look. So until I get told to stop, I will just show you. Crude's pretty boring. I'd be surprised if anyone's still trading that anymore. 1% move in crude is not much anymore, is it? Not like it was when it was trading at $150 a barrel. Come on, cable. Get down below 154.90 for me. And euro below 114.20, please. Okay, just let me give you my email address as well. I always give my email address out. No one ever actually emails me. Shows how much anyone wants to talk to me. But there you go, in case I can help you with anything. Right. Crude. There you go, not looking too good. Pretty textbook, really. I do love a 100 and 200-day moving average resistance. They do work quite well some of the time. Haven't worked in gold this week, by the way. Look, this is trading quite technically, actually. Hit the 100, hit the 200-day moving average, rejected it. There was your shooting star, is it? Doji, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And then we've come back down, and now we're testing this trend line here. So not oversold enough here, but we are getting oversold on the short-term chart. So we could just see a little bounce off there. I'm going to take this trend line out. That's not relevant. We could just see a little bounce off here, but overall, this is not looking particularly positive. We really don't seem to be able to hold onto any gains. So unless we can get through this sort of 50 00, 51 00 moving average resistance band, there is really no hope for this oil market to recover at the moment. It's really, really struggling, isn't it? And obviously, if we do see a break below what basically is today's lows, 45.90, really, certainly a close below there today, especially a close there below there tomorrow, below 46.00. On a weekly closing basis is not going to be positive for oil at all, is it? So just thought I'd bring that to your attention. But I would be either selling a break below there. I mean, if you're brave, feeling brave, try along, but stop out quickly on a break below, say 45.90. If you do manage to see a recovery and run it, and you definitely want to be taking profit if we get anywhere near 50, and probably trying a short there again. But if we do see a close above this at some time through October, especially a weekly close, I would look for a 2-day close really above there before I would start to feel confident about being long oil. Okay, it's 11:51. Unless anyone wants me to waffle on about anything. Here we go. Go down, you pound below 154.90. So there you go. That trade, I hope, will work. If you got on that one, if you followed me on Twitter, you would have got on that euro trade either today or yesterday, because I think I posted that euro yesterday. I think I gave the trade signal as well. So as I say, do follow me on Twitter for some free, well, hopefully some free money. Who knows? Okay, if that's it, I'm going to pack it up there because I'm going to be told to stop. I'm only supposed to go on for 45 minutes. Thanks very much. Please look at my website and please follow me. Please, I'm on the 29th of October, I think, is my next one, my next webinar, I should say. Thanks very much.